think almost 70 to 80% of the entire TOGAF standard is here in this body of knowledge. Now this body of knowledge contains just 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections or 6 parts to it, right? You have your introduction and core concepts, which are introduction to the TOGAF framework and its various components and so on. Then you have the architecture development method. Now architecture development method is a step-by-step method of how to do enterprise architecture. That's covered here. And then you have ADM techniques. So the left-hand side, by the way, is the table of contents where you will see everything that you need to see. And then there are some techniques such as capability assessment or enterprise business transformation readiness assessment or requirements gathering and so on and so forth. So there are, gap analysis is a technique. There are a list of techniques there which you can use in the various phases of the ADM to do enterprise architecture work. And then how to apply the ADM. So there are iterations and then there are levels. So you take the architecture development method and how do you apply it in the real world scenario? That's what's covered as a part of the applying the ADM. And then you have architecture content. Now this is the most the fleshy piece of the TOGAF framework. Like you have method and techniques and all of that, but you have the content. Content is essentially what is the information that you need to gather and how do you gather it. So there are architectural building blocks, and then there are artifacts, and then there are deliverables. All of these form, and within artifacts you've got catalogs, matrices and diagrams, all kinds of diagrams that you can prepare as an enterprise architect to collect information about the organization. And then you have architectural building blocks, which is your meta model, as they call it, in which you have, like, for example, user is a building block, actor is a building block, application is a building block, data entity is a building block, and so on and so forth. And then you have deliverables, which are large documents which require approval and sign off, like architecture definition document or architecture requirements gathering document, and so on and so forth. So all of this is contained within the architecture content or architecture content framework, which is, by the way, a part of the TOGAF framework in general. And then we have the enterprise architecture capability and governance. So architecture governance and architecture capability are a part of the TOGAF framework. What that